Welcome, my name is Philip Swicegood and I am back today with my good friend Dr. Harper from Vein Specialist of the South. We are here in downtown Macon, Georgia, and we have what is our first repeat guest. Now this is not repeat because we just couldn't find anybody else, but this person is doing something really interesting that we want to share with you. Bryan Nichols is back with us today and he is going to talk about his brand new venture called Macon Rocks. Now Bryan, I don't know if you know this, but I have been referring to you as Mr. Downtown Macon because you have so many things going on down here between the coffee shop with all of the Christmas lights and now this is great. Tell us what we can expect whenever we come to Macon Rocks.
Oh man, there's so much you can do here. I mean, it's an experience from the time you walk into the door, but you're going to find friendly staff, you're going to find a great atmosphere. It's a great place to come and learn to climb if you've never climbed before. We have multiple types of climbing here. We have top rope, we have lead climbing, and we have bouldering. Bouldering has become probably one of the most popular sports in the country right now as far as climbing because it's a problem solving as well as a full body workout. The only type of climbing that we don't have here is speed climbing, and that's because our walls aren't tall enough to do that.
Roughly how tall are the actual walls from top to bottom?
39 feet.
Okay, wow. And talk to me about some of the equipment. Is this something that you guys provide, or how exactly does that work?
Yeah, you can come in and we can provide it for you with the shoes and the harnesses, or you can bring your own if you've been climbing, and you can bring your own gear and not have to rent gear. So it's kind of up to you as to what you need to do.
Great.
Hey Bryan, why climbing? Have you been a climber all your life, or tell me this backstory about how you came to this idea. I know when we met talking about the Christmas light extravaganza, this was well on the way to becoming reality, but we didn't discuss that. So tell us a little bit about how you got the vision for this and some backstory about that.
Well, originally we did this to save the buildings because these buildings were historic buildings that were condemned, going to be knocked down. And
so tell us what the buildings were.
Oh yeah, this is part of the Black Historic District of Macon. So these buildings right here, the one we're sitting in right now, this was actually the old Capricorn, or the old Melba Lodge attached to the Capricorn offices. Okay. So actually right here where we're sitting, this was the bar on the second floor of the lodge. Okay. So I mean, we are literally right now, the bar would be right about here, and I could get my drink from right here. Yeah. So, but the whole thing had completely collapsed. So we wanted to save the history of the buildings. When we finally got it gutted and secured up, we really just had 3 brick walls. No roof, no second floor, no nothing. So trying to figure out what then to do to save the history, but also bring something vibrant and new and fresh to downtown was a little bit of a challenge. But my wife had wanted to go climbing in Atlanta for her birthday one year. So we went up there and she loved it and then talked about how Macon needed something like that. So I thought it was a crazy idea. Actually, usually I'm the guy coming up with the crazy ideas, and instead I just kind of said, that's a little bit ridiculous. Only to then go out and eat with my business partner, Kevin Reeves, and his wife. And as I mentioned it, Kevin's like, that's a great idea. And then, of course, I'm outnumbered. We searched for other buildings, but we would have had to have damaged historic property to make it big enough. So we finally decided, you know what, this is a great space. We just added another floor on, made it taller, and put it in here. But it filled that niche that we were missing, which was family-friendly, fun stuff to do in downtown Macon.
Awesome. I'm hearing a lot of good vibes about it. So I'm sure Philip's got a few more questions and other things we want to ask you. But we love your vision for downtown and things you've done with Taste in the Sea and this things. I know there are other ideas up there, but we're going to wait on those. We're here today to talk about the rock climbing venue, so awesome.
I love it. So Bryan, I want to go back to the individual different types of climbing that you guys offer here. Can you break down, because it's one of those things, I imagine there's a lot of people watching this who aren't super into climbing. They don't know what bouldering is or the different types of the different types of climbing. If you could explain that, that'd be great.
Absolutely. And it's funny when you first come in, all you're really looking is you're seeing all these colors on the wall and you just kind of think, oh my gosh, there's just so many things to put my hands on. But the types of climbing, if you think about top rope, that's something like a lot of people have seen because they've seen it at fairs and different carnivals or something where the kids get strapped into a harness and they just climb up the wall. And that is top rope climbing, but that is not true climbing. True climbing is when you're actually picking a particular route on the wall, which is usually a color of holes going up the wall, and you climb just that color. And so there are tags all across the wall that give you the different difficulty level based off of your skill level. So you might come in, you've never climbed before, you're going to start at a lower level, you climb it, the better you get, you move up to the next level. So with that, you come in, we put a harness on you, you actually can use what we call auto belays, which you'll clip into, which allows you to climb, and then you literally just jump off the wall and rappel down, and it'll bring you down. We also have it where you can come in and get belay certified. So you could actually come with a friend, and instead of using the auto belays, you can actually be the one that is bringing them down.
Now that's a lot of trust, right?
That's a lot of trust.
Okay.
See, that's the thing that's cool about this is it's not only something fun to do and a challenge to do, but it's also something that you can do with a partner that makes it fun when you call them. We call them relationships. So like tonight is our first event per se. It's ladies' night tonight, and so we're trying to build a community of women who can come in here, meet each other, and that way if they want to get on some of the tougher stuff that does not have an auto belay, they've got a friend to call and go, hey, we're going to the gym tonight, you want to come? And then they can belay each other. So it's a trust thing. But see, climbing is not just in a gym. Climbing is also outside of the gym. There are places to go and climb outdoors. So this gives you an opportunity to build relationships with people that then as you grow in the sport and you go outdoors, you have people to go with, because there are no auto belays outdoors. Somebody is going to be belaying you. So that's one type of climbing. That's the one that you're going to see most people do. You get into bouldering, which is probably the most popular right now. There are gyms across the country that are nothing but bouldering. Bouldering is where, our tallest bouldering wall is 14 feet. And we have some that are just 10 feet tall. So it's not how high you climb, but you're climbing with no harness, no rope. Okay? But you're not going to fall very far, and you have a very thick pad under you to catch you. But those are not called routes, those are called problems. So when you look at the holds on the wall, you're still only climbing that particular color. But you have to solve the problem as how to climb it, and then you have to execute the climb. So even though you're not going to be going very tall, you might spend 2 days trying to solve this problem and climb this problem. But it's also a full body workout. That one there, you're working your arms, your legs, your core. I mean, you're really putting a lot of physical energy into it, because sometimes you might be laying sideways trying to climb the problem. You might be bending your leg back over here. I mean, it just really depends on the route setter and how they set that route. And then we also have lead climbing. Lead climbing is where you've probably seen in a lot of the movies, people are climbing up. But instead of the rope attaching to you and you going up with the rope and then coming back down, like with an auto belay, this one, the rope is actually attached to you and you're going up with the rope, but as you're climbing, you're having to clip in as you're going up. So there is really nothing catching you until you start clipping in as you're going up. You're going to find that's the more advanced climber that's going to be doing the lead climbing. But that's where you start seeing them go into the overhang, upside down, and some of the fun stuff. So we offer everything for everybody from the beginner all the way to the more advanced here at Macon Rocks, which is kind of nice. And we teach all the classes, the Climbing 101, 102. We'll get you belay certified. We'll take you as far as you want to go. And so you've got everything you need right here to be a fun climber or an advanced climber, or to continue to hone your skills if you've been climbing forever.
So it sounds like climbing is for anyone that's not scared of heights.
Or even if you're scared of heights, you get into bouldering, you're not really. I mean, you're
only going to fall 10 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, how bad
It's
can
not
that
bad.
hurt, right?
Yeah, well,
What could
it's
go
10
wrong?
feet minus the height of your body, so most of the time it's just a couple of
And
feet.
the pad.
And
can
the
be
pad is
really
a foot,
thick, right?
yeah.
You can just have a really thick pad, right? You're really good. You can have like an 8-foot pad or something.
That's right.
That's cool. So, what's your favorite?
Well, I started out doing a lot of the top rope just because I kind of wanted to get a feel for our gym and what we had to offer. I'd always heard bouldering was a big thing, and I kind of stayed away from it the first few weeks. Then I started bouldering, and now that's all I do. I come in here and I will literally spend a couple hours just on the bouldering walls.
So, how long do people usually stay when they come? What are you saying?
If you're here, even if you're an advanced climber, typically an hour and a half, and you're pretty worn. Now that's unless you're bringing your kids and your kids are climbing. You might be here for 3 or 4 hours because the kids just don't seem to ever wear out.
So is there make reservations or something like that, or?
No reservations. We have memberships where you can be a member and drop in all you want, or you can come in and get a day pass. But there's no reason for a reservation. It's a little quicker if you sign up online as far as filling out your waiver, because then you can walk right in the door. It's already in the system.
So how do you do that?
Go to MaconRocks.com or like us on Facebook.
Cool.
Fantastic. So, Bryan, if someone was interested in starting a business in downtown Macon, I know you've had several businesses now down here. What do you think you would tell them?
I mean, it's a great time to be a part of the downtown community as far as opening a business in downtown. I mean, the numbers are still growing. We're not seeing a change at all in the number of loft residents that are coming in, even though we're adding more to the mix. I think it would be trying to figure out what the thing is that we need in downtown the most and pick that. I see a lot of business owners make a lot of mistakes where they want to open the same thing we already have because they see it being successful, and then they open it up. And really all they're doing is harming themselves and the other business.
Yeah.
But there's a need for a lot of really neat and cool stuff still in downtown Macon. And it's just finding the thing that we need the most.
Tell us about the hours here. Roughly, what are the hours for you guys? And do you guys have special event packages? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we're actually open from 10 to 10 Monday through Friday and 10 to 8 on Saturday and Sunday. We do offer quite a few different little packages. One of the biggest things that we just started doing a few weeks ago was we kicked off our birthday parties. So we're seeing a lot of that. So we're actually sitting in the birthday party room, and you can see behind me from where you're having your party. You get a great view of the climbers. You can bring the kids in. We have staff that will be with them to help them learn about climbing and get them on the walls. But you also have a great place just for them to make memories. We offer a full workout facility on the 3rd floor. So if you're a member of the gym, you actually have membership to the 24-hour access workout facility, or you can just join the workout facility. I mean, there are people who, they just want to run on a treadmill, they don't care anything about climbing at all, but there's nothing in downtown. Once again, it was a niche we were filling. After Kinetics closed downtown, we felt that we needed another gym for the downtown community, and that's when we added that. We're fixing to start kicking off all the announcements tomorrow, actually, on summer camps. So we're going to have summer camps for kids. As we get into a little bit more, we'll start having climbing leagues. So there'll be kids that will be competing, which will be a lot of fun, especially since it's going to be in the Olympics this year, and there's going to be this big showing, and these kids can kind of go, oh my gosh, I could be that one day. We can begin to prepare them for competition and what competition looks like in climbing, because it is a little bit different in how you compete in climbing versus just climbing. So there's lots of different things that we have going on. We'll have member-only events and some different stuff, but it's about building community just as much as it is about climbing and working out.
That's great.
Okay. So how many weeks have you been open now?
This is 2 months, maybe, almost.
So I know you're all about demographics, and so where are the folks coming from? What's the range? What are you finding out about people when they come here? How they found out about you, and how they wound up deciding to come?
Well, that's the thing that was really strange. You know, we were really doing this for Macon, Bibb County when we built the gym. It was for downtown. It was for our community kind of deal. And we knew we'd have people come from all over to visit because climbers are going to go to a new place to climb. We didn't realize how far they would come, and we didn't realize how many of them would come. Just the other night, I had them print me out a sheet of everybody who filled out a waiver to come in the door, and to my surprise, it's only like 40% are from Macon and Bibb County. Now that's just Macon, Bibb County. So there are, of course, Monroe, Peach, all the different ones around. But when you start looking, and as much as I've been here climbing, you begin to talk to people, and all of a sudden you're meeting people from Albany, Valdosta, Tifton. We've had them come from Jacksonville, Tallahassee. They're just coming from everywhere. North Carolina, tons of them coming down from Atlanta. But then you go, why do they come down from Atlanta when there's all these gyms in Atlanta? They want to go climb a different gym. And it's something that climbers do. They love going to a new place and experiencing a new place. We're also the closest gym to a lot of these people. So for them to drive an hour and a half is nothing uncommon. A lot of our climbers who climb here locally, they've been driving an hour and a half to Atlanta to climb. So
they're pumped about it.
So they're pumped about the fact that it's right here in town. Right. So it's been a lot of fun to watch the fact that this is not just for Macon, Bibb County. This is for Middle Georgia and even for the state of Georgia. I mean, I was just talking to Lester Miller a couple of days ago who toured the place, and we were talking about economic impact because of the tourism part of it that we didn't think about at the time. But if the OLA's passed and the different things, you're talking about pumping a bunch of money into the local economy that's going to help all of us.
That's great news. I love your ideas, and this is another completion of a vision you had. I'm proud of you, and thank you for doing this for Macon.
Thank you.
Right.
So, Dr. Harper, in your experience, can vein disease prevent someone from climbing at a place like this?
You know, I think most people can, with the safety features they have and starting out as learners, they're probably safe to do this. And there are a few people who maybe not, but I'd say the majority of people, it's fine for them to come down here and experience rock climbing and get in better shape. So since you've started climbing, you feel like you're in better shape?
You can tell because you can climb things you couldn't even just a few days before.
Yeah, most people have trouble like climbing up in bed, at night or something. That would really help, right? Or trying to roll out in the morning. So if you can climb these walls, you're going to be going a lot better.
Be good to go.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you for taking the time to join us. We
Absolutely.
really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate your time as well. And stay tuned for where you might see me and Dr. Harper. You never know where that might be.